Hello everybody, Lee Hunt here. Hope you're having a great day. Well, exciting day today. I get to road test a couple of new drivers from Srixon, the ZX5 and the ZX7, the Mark II. So they've kept the name as the previous model, just a little Mark II on it. Some pretty cool tech they're talking about with this new driver. So they've got a thing called rebound frame, and you can see that on the edge. It's got on the edge of the driver there, the rebound frame. So just to say it's got it, but essentially what we're getting is you've got the face or the COR, the face will bend and bounce, and then they've got a frame around the inside of the driver there that's like the way they explain it to me is like a trampoline on a trampoline. So we're getting more ball speed, we're definitely getting more pop out of the driver. They're pretty excited about that. I believe they're saying around about 10% higher COR, so more forgiving, which is always great. We love a driver that's more forgiving. And then they've gone away from, on top, they've gone away from the graphite on the top, and they've gone to titanium. They've got this thing called star frame. Now the star frame is keeping everything together, getting those ball speeds to jump up a little bit. So they believe it in the ZX7, they're saying around about 2.5 miles per hour faster ball speed, which is, you know, equal and jumping up pretty quick. So that's good, 2.5 miles per hour. It's not like other companies say they're getting 5 miles an hour. So 2.5, it's conservative, but anything's great. So 2.5 out of that. And the ZX5, they're saying they're getting around about 2 miles per hour out of the face. So it'd be really, really interesting to see how these two go against each other. The two different models, they're very, very nice looking club. One's smaller than the other. But I'm going to give it a bit of a go. The ZX7 is a little bit more of a fade bias. You can move the weights around in the back of the driver, and you can see that there. You're moving the weights around. Lower spinning, lower launching. And then the ZX5, you've just got the weight in the back, and you can change the weights in there. So you can really muck around with the swing weights there. So it'd be interesting to see what you can do with those. I'm just going to test these as is today. We've got a 10.5 and a 9.5. I'm just going to get those. I'm going to test them. I'm going to see how they go. I'm really interested to see with the ZX7 how you can move the weights around in the back. You can see that they've moved the weights all the way to the back to keep that thing to be very forgiving. So anytime you keep the weight to the back, it becomes more forgiving. So lots of shaft combinations they've come out with this Srixon. Srixon have always had a big suite of shafts. I'll put that link in the description so you can have a bit of a look at that. You can also have a look at the lofts and the different specs they come in. Don't forget, make sure you like the page and hit the notifications. We're trying to build this page. I want to keep doing this, and I'm really enjoying it. And the last video I did, we got some great feedback. So the comments are always welcome, good, bad, or indifferent. I love hearing your feedback. I'll get started, and we'll get right on with it. We'll see you shortly. Okay, now I've got everything set up here. I've got my Trackman 4 set up. I've got the Titleist RCT Pro V1X golf balls. The first driver I'm going to test is a ZX5 Mark II. I've just left the standard shaft in this time. It's got the hazardous RDX smoke. It's obviously not the original, but it's what they're going with. 6.0, and you can see it here. So this one here is the more forgiving driver. Okay, so it's a mid-spin, mid-launch driver. I'm actually pretty interested to see how it all goes. First impressions, looking down at it, it's got a really nice dark top line to it. It's a lot of like a smoky matte finish, so frames the ball up really well from that point of view. So it certainly doesn't look like a driver that sort of sits a little bit hooded. It sits very square on the ground. You've got the adjustability in the hosel, so you can move it down and up, which is great with every modern driver's got now. I know you can get different weights in the back if you want to change the swing weight when you're getting fitted. So that's another bonus. Let's see how this rebound face goes. Okay, so we're going to give it a bit of a hit. Now the last test I did with a driver was the Ping driver, which was the G430. That was quite popular. I was hitting it quite well. I liked it. They all did different things. And all I'm looking for here is to explain what these two drivers do different. Everybody's going to have a different shaft and all that, but I'm going to have a bit of a go, see how it feels, and we'll go from there. So as I said, setting it up, it looks great behind the ball. It's got just a little mark on the top line here. I'm not sure if you can see that there. where the signifies obviously the middle of the club face. So for those people who like that, which is good, it's not too much in your face, it's not like a white dot or anything, but it sets it up pretty well, so we'll give it a bit of a go. Feels quite light, just at first impressions. Well, it's loud, definitely loud. A lot louder than the ping driver we hit in my last time I did it. Now, 106 club head speed, 2279 spin. It went 271, so went okay. Went a bit left though, so it was a bit of a smother, but we'll give it a go. All right. Yeah, it didn't hit that very good at all. 250 carry, 267. So it's, you know, I didn't hit the first one very well. It went low and left. Second one in typical Lee Hunt form. Tried to fix it, pushed it down the right, but it went reasonably straight. 267 total. Spin rate's not too bad. I expected the spin rate to be a little bit higher with this standard shaft. Club head speed 108. So the first impressions are that it's quite a loud driver. So in this indoor setting that we test in, the noise can be a little bit abrupt. That's the thing I really liked about the ping driver, is a lot duller noise. So it's not too bad though. It comes off quite hard off the face. So it's not a soft feeling face when you hit it. That was a little closer. I felt like I got almost in the middle of the club face there. So there you go. Ooh, 109 club head speed. That's good. That's picking up. Must be all the practice I'm doing. 250 carry, 280 total. So I know I've got a few people who watch this who work in yards. This is in meters. So add 10%. So that's over 300 yards, which is quite nice. I'm pretty happy with that. It is turning over a little bit, but I sort of expect that. My normal ball flight, I like to see when I'm hitting it is that sort of a little fade. So it is turning over a little bit. Not enough degree. It does feel quite forgiving though. So everyone's been quite long. So it's definitely a long driver. It's definitely got a fair bit of pop out of the face, and my club head speed's gone up a little bit. So that I feel like that lightness that I'm feeling in the club head, let's give it a little bit more speed, which is good. See if we go. So we can just not turn it over. So really tried to hold that off then. So 109 club head speed, 278, 27 spin. So that spin's a little high, but I sort of expect that with this shaft. You know, it's a 6.0. I normally would use a 6.5 if I was in this style of shaft. So 109 club head speed. Pretty good. 278, not too bad. Yeah, it's going a little bit left, but I'll be interested to see how the other driver goes. It's more of a fade bias, but ZX5, pretty happy so far. So good looking driver. We'll hit one more and then we'll get on to the other driver. Yeah, nice. So 108 club head speed, 160 ball speed, 27 spin, nearly 28 spin, 2793 actually to be exact, 257 carry in meters, 274 total, so close enough to 300 yards. That didn't move a lot. Great driver. Definitely feels forgiving. I'm really interested about this little weight port in the back, how we can change that to suit your swing weight. This feels quite light to me, but you know, good job. Definitely a driver I'd recommend if you're in the market. So well done, Srixon. We'll get on to the other one. Okay, here we go. Now I've had a quick pit stop. I've changed the shafts out. I've taken the shaft out of the ZX5, put it straight into the ZX7. What I've done, this is a 10.5 head, the ZX5 with a 9.5. So I've just dialed it down 1 degree to make it the same. It will change the way the driver looks a little bit, I understand that. But you can see on the bottom straight away, you've got the 2 weights at the bottom, so you can adjust those, move those around. Now, first thing I noticed about this driver, and I had a brief look before I changed the loft, you can definitely notice it's a lot smaller. And it does sit a little bit flatter on the ground, and it's even flatter now that I've dialed it down The face itself, you can see a bit more of the toe pushing out on it. I really like that. So I can tell straight away that this is the sort of driver that I would like, because I like to hit that little one that goes left to right. I don't like the ball going left. For me, I really like the look of the head. Nice and simple looking down on it. There's not a lot going on. A bit like the other driver. So the ZX5 didn't have a whole much going on the top. It had that little logo on top so you could line the ball up. Exactly the same here. Not much going on. So very clean looking driver. Now I was talking to the rep about this, the Srixon rep, and he said there's not a lot of difference between the two drivers, and that Hideki has won on tour with both drivers. So he's run with the ZX7 and the ZX5, just getting a little bit different out of each driver. So, you know, it's more of a personal preference. One doesn't suit the other, but you've got to make sure that you get the right one. So for me, I sort of like this, the way it looks on the ground. I'm interested to see how it goes, to see if it gets any more ball speed. But, you know, we'll have a bit of a hit and we'll have a look at the numbers. So straight away, as I said, looking on the ground, looks fantastic. I really like the look of it. Bit smaller head. Definitely feels more solid when you hit it, and there's that ball flight. It's a little bit different. It's a little straighter. I like the idea of the ball not going left, as I said. Definitely came out a little bit straighter. 109 clubhead speed, 160 ball speed. 159 ball speed, 2500 spin. I would love to chuck my own shaft in this, and I will do that. 252 carry, 276 total. Spin axis, the ball's not moving in the air. Very, very straight, which is good. And it's got a little 6.2 metres to the right. So there's that little fade we're talking about. Very, very straight. Not pleasing to the eye for me. I didn't hit that very good. It felt like I hit it off the bottom. There you go. So it turned over a little bit. So 110 clubhead, 162. So quite forgiving. Felt like I hit that low in the heel then. And it went pretty straight. Didn't move a lot. Spin 2494. Carry 243. 275 total. So it's not spinning a lot. So it's certainly not. They're not high spin drivers. As I said, I really like the way it frames up the ball. It's not a massive looking driver. I'm not a huge fan of the drivers that are quite, for me, I don't really like the shininess on top of a driver. I like a dull look to the driver. I guess my only exception would be the Titleist, the new Titleist driver. I think that looks fantastic, but that's that small head. So we'll sit that down. Hit another couple more, see if we can get a bit more out of this one. It felt a little bit high in the face. It's turning over a little bit. 284 total. There we go. So that's in metres. So add 10% for yards. 111 club head speed. 163 ball speed. As I said, it fell a little bit high in the face. I think I caught that a little bit high in the crown. So a little bit of gear effect there. Got that spin down, but it turned over a little bit. But definitely a long driver. Yeah, so well done. It's got some pop in it, so I'm backing that technology with the, with the rebound frame. That's certainly helping. It is quite forgiving. So all the tech in the head. Normally when we put it on a Trackman doesn't lie. So it's definitely a long driver. It's quite long. For me, it feels like it goes a little bit longer than the ping I tested the other day. Even though I like the sound of the ping, the sound on this is a little duller than the other one. So, but still quite a high-pitched noise. Yeah, I like that. There we go, that's the one I like. So there you go, 111, 164 ball speed, 2100 spin. I'm really impressed with this hazard. A shaft, to be fair. 255 carry, 287 total. It's pretty straight. See if I can get a 290 metre. I don't think I can, but I'm going to give it one more. So both drivers do a great job. Obviously the previous driver I hit, the ZX5, that's a little bit more forgiving, a little bit higher launching, mid spin. This is low spin, not as forgiving. Both drivers very forgiving though, so well done. The ZX5 certainly drew a little bit more for me, where the ZX7 I feel like it can fade a little bit more for me. And you could put that down to de-lofting it back to 9.5, opening that face up a little bit, but it's still very, very good. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give this everything. Normally when you do that, you don't hit it any good and you don't get any clubhead speed. Okay, there we go, 113.8. That's about all I've got today. So 165 ball speed, 2049 spin, 268 carry, and 293 metres in total distance. Definitely a long driver. Well done, well done, well done. I'll put some more stuff in the description below in the links. You'll be able to check it out. There's a lot of variations where you can change the loft in these drivers. Srixon's been doing a great job. They always have. They've never been hugely known here in Australia, but they're doing a great job. Certainly get out to your local pro shop and try one out. Book in for a fitting. I think you'll get some great numbers with this, and you may even improve what you're using at the moment. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope this one wasn't too long for you. I got a bit of flack on the last one. I understand I talk a bit too much. Don't forget the comments. It's really great to get your feedback. We'll see you next time. I'm Lee Hunt.